Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting.
Edgar Allan Poe, everybody.
That's him.
Nintendo.
This was one of the first games I ever had on the GameCube, and it made quite the impression.
Yeah, pretty unique game for the GameCube.
Will come to understand fear as I have.
I think when I first got my GameCube, I had this and Rogue Squadron. Or Rogue Leader.
Oh, yeah, that game.
Rogue Squadron 2, yeah.
So this game just launches you into the intro when you first started up.
Correct.
No title screen or nothing.
Nope. Should be, I don't know, I like the intro, but it might be a spoiler. Maggots. Just so much very vivid imagery. So, Dog, you've played this before, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I think I rented it and was like, oh, this seems like there's a lot to this game. I should probably buy it. Because I was always looking for good horror games around this time, or after this time, because I had grown up playing games like The Seventh Guest, and then later on Silent Hill and Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely had this appetite for horror games that was never really fulfilled. But a lot of games tried.
This one definitely has a unique approach.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
This isn't really happening.
Sanity effects. And apparently they start by crashing Discord on you.
That's fine.
I somehow got a hold of a Nintendo GameCube and installed it into my computer.
Nice.
Bone, bound together with the oddest magical incantation. This wretched book is where it all began so long ago. Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas. I am a clinical psychologist. I am also dead.
Very well spoken
This
for
is
a
not
dead
my
guy.
story, nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity. Like it or not, believe it or not, as you will. Your perceptions will not change reality, but simply color it. Humanity has been on the edge of extinction for 2 millennia, ignorant of so much and dependent on so few. The Guardians grow restless. Their time once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it.
So I think that's
Their
just a
attention
graphical
turns to
error
my
we're going to have to
granddaughter.
deal with. The fades are
For
all
she is the
purple
last
for
of
some
my
reason.
line, and the last
emulation.
hope for humanity.
Yay, emulation. But, if that's the worst problem, then I'm fine with that. I like purple. It's my favorite color.
It's the color of madness.
Yes. Also the color of zombies. The window was deselected. I didn't select the window. So, combat in this game, we'll have to wait for another time for an explanation, because there's zombies. But, there are no more zombies.
Remember me, Alex.
Hello.
Miss
Seattle at
Alexandra
night.
Roivas?
Yeah, who's this?
This is
City.
Inspector Legrasse of the Rhode Island Police. I'm sorry to disturb you, but there's been an accident with your grandfather.
I'll be on the next flight out.
Yeah, no, the police are just all over this case. They're ready to go.
Ah, Miss Roivas, I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences. This is most unpleasant. It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course, this way. But I must warn you, it's not a pleasant sight. I'm afraid there's not much to see.
That is not at all a professional way to conceal a
Miss
body.
Roivas, is that your grandfather, Edward?
Yes, it's him. He's wearing our family ring. I don't understand. Why are you showing me this? Can't you check dental records or something? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's my job, lady. You're the only living relative, and no, we can't check dental records. There's no head. Now, none of this makes sense. There's no sign of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here. I have never seen anything like this in my 20 years on the force. We have no evidence except for the body, and what's left doesn't say much.
Don't they usually do these kinds of
We don't have a
identifications
single
down
clue.
at the morgue?
Well, you better find out who did
Nope,
this.
can tell it all from here.
Leaving Rhode Island until you do. There must be some clue in this old mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
All right. 2 weeks in Grandpa's old mansion. Shocked by her grandfather's mysterious death and frustrated at the incompetence of the local police, Alex vows to uncover the truth. She decides to search the mansion, the place where Edward conducted his research. If there was a tie to his past and possibly a tie to his murderer, it would be here. This is a large house. It is going to take a very long time to explore this house. There's a lot to get through. Like mystical doors that have strange locking plates on them. Just wide enough to insert a narrow blade. So Grandpa carried a sword around to get into the pantry. So this, these symbols, just kind of burn this image into the back of your head for a minute. This is how a lot of the game is going to play out. Time is permanently set to 3:33. There's a key in the back of the clock, presumably for winding it. The clock on our apartment back in Seattle was also set to 3:33. And the winding key turned out to be a dresser key. So we got different wings on the house. Some of them are inaccessible at the moment. We're going to have plenty of time to explore later, but for now, I want to head over into the library. I really want one of these, like, just massive, like, where the entire room is just made out of shelves type situations.
Wouldn't have a whole lot to put on there, but yeah, it would be nice.
I like physical media. I like books.
I stopped collecting that a long time ago, actually, and I like switched to digital.
I probably should. I'd be able to play Final Fantasy VII right now if I hadn't been so, committed to these things.
Right.
I can't get a physical copy of that game for love or money.
No notes on the painting?
No, nothing on the painting. Dead wife, presumably, in the Poe fashion. Lovecraftian fashion. So we have a clock. And we can adjust the hands. If I remember how I mapped the buttons. So we've gotten this clue a couple of times already. But, fun little Easter eggy type thing. Just in case you don't get it, the game will drive it home a little further for you. If you examine the clock enough times. Or maybe you can only do it if you... I swear I remember like a ghostly voice whispering 3:33 at me when I was a kid. Maybe not.
Sure someone didn't just play a joke on you?
Yeah. My fucking cousin just snuck up behind me and he was trying to passive-aggressively give me the answer. I swear it did that. I could be remembering it wrong. Maybe it's this clock. Guess not. Oh well. The answer is 3:33.
Wait a second.
Waiting.
I mean, how did you get... No, it's all right. I delivered that wrong. Oh, shit.
There's the ghostly voice. I'm not crazy. It's just this clock. All right. I feel vindicated. Thank you, game.
So...
So if you examine this clock enough times and don't solve the puzzle, the game just kind of goes, look, we just started. We're not getting hung up here. Here's the fucking number. Secret room.
Right, this is the first thing you have to actually do in the game.
Yeah. There's a couple other rooms you can explore and get involved in, but
Nothing important in them yet.
Not at the moment. And we're going to be doing plenty of digging around. But first we need Pop's secret study, full of completely authentic and normal artifacts. Perhaps if Alex had some kind of tome. I wonder where you could find a tome.
That's weird.
It's the pause menu also. We got an inventory map. That'll come in handy later. all of the cutscenes. Options, but the Gothic cathedral shouted against the stark light. The image is vicious and devoid of subtlety. Well, everyone's a critic. Some kind of mask. Serene in composure. That doesn't look that serene to me. Aha. An ancient Roman weapon. Gladius? I've always heard it pronounced gladius, but it's another one of those words that no matter how I say it, I feel like it sounds wrong.
I honestly don't remember how to pronounce it.
Gladius or gladius. Regardless,
It is literally just the word for sword, though.
Yeah. It's just the... So we got a weapon. Not much to chop with it at the moment. But a door in the kitchen that we might be able to open with it. But before we go, a book. A large, leather-bound antique book rests upon the cluttered desk. Read the book. He looks nice.
I had no knowledge of what was to come, nor did I care. How the knowledge changed me, it will also change you. As you read this, you will come to learn fear as I have.
Ooh.
You too will come to understand.
I want to be changed by
or you will
knowledge.
perish.
Let's go get changed by knowledge.
To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of our reality. To see those who dwell behind. My life now has purpose, for I have learned the frailty of flesh and bone. I was once a fool. Where is Quies Candamest? Where is Conservandi? Facusatis aquae sumam, et animus eorum conferma. Pugna huis, dia sit modo prima multarum, si inceptum conficiamus.
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus. I would like to compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you
I always
believe
like
that
that
it really
technique where they
exists,
fade
Centurion?
from
I do not doubt our emperor's beliefs.
the actual
One
language
language to
to-
another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we are
It's
to
like,
retrieve
they're
the
speaking
artifact,
Roman. We're
we
not
must
going to
be
make
strong.
you go through this. Just understand, like, this is for your benefit. This isn't real. Hunt for Red October is the first time I ever saw that done to, like, really good effect.
It's been a very long time since I saw that.
Half of that movie takes place on a Russian submarine. They do a similar trick to just demonstrate that, like, look, they're speaking Russian. You're an American audience. We're going to pretend this isn't English. And then later on in the movie, Americans get on the boat and all the characters are speaking Russian again. And it's like, oh, whoops, right. Now it feels awkward. It's actually a really good way of re-alienating some characters we've come to know pretty well because the situation has changed and now they're, like, the two different sides have met. It's a neat technique. It made me feel things, okay? I like it. Meanwhile, our buddy here is getting zapped into
It's
the
feeling
Stargate.
things.
He's feeling very different things. Okay. Centurion Pious Augustus. And this is this is taking place during the height of one of the Roman... I don't know my Roman history. I know there was a lot of shit going on for a very long time. I know Sean, the Skull Guy, does a number of interesting videos on Roman history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They make good background noise for when I'm, like, cleaning the house. Stone block over yonder. So, I don't know which phase of the Empire or the Republic or who's going on, but doesn't matter too much. Just to say, Augustus here, he's a centurion. He went out on a conquest, and he's about to have a bad day. So combat.
Or a good day, depending on your outlook.
Well, you know. So you can target body. I'm trying to tutorialize. You can target body, head, or limbs. Targeting limbs severs the limbs, and they can no longer swipe at you. Now he's just a harmless, toothless puppy. Look at him go. You can take off the head, and if he had enough health left, that would have left him blind, so he'd be swinging at nothing. That finish him maneuver...
Yeah, blinding enemies can actually work to your advantage, which is neat.
Yeah, there are some you definitely just want to be able to, like, get away from, and it's helpful. So, for instance... So now, they're just kind of swinging.
They'll hit each other, too.
Oh, yeah. They can do some infighting. He even take him out. So finish him. Once, the sanity meter hasn't come into effect yet, but... I don't even think we can see it yet. But, doing the final blow is a way to get back a little bit of your sanity as that starts to diminish. A large granite block, which we just pocket and call fucking fine.
My block now.
26 BC. Chat says this takes place in 26 BC.
That's what the subtitle said. Yeah, it was.
Is that what it said?
Persia.
Oh, okay, I missed the. I was not paying attention. So, notice
there are
that
skeletons at different size.
Yeah. So the bigger one, has more health and will hit harder. And it's just a simple way of an upgraded enemy without having to mess around with your established expectations. I got
These
waxed.
enemies are not very dangerous.
No. Your combat in this game doesn't often get too. You're not often in danger of. It's not difficult most of the time. There are some very definite spikes.
Yeah, certain enemies are extremely dangerous, actually.
But it's not something you're gonna have to stress over. It's not even like Devil May Cry levels of, having to replay sections type difficulty. We're here for our atmosphere and our storytelling. And our granite blocks, of which we now have 2. And you lose a skull, and you lose a skull, and you lose a skull, and you lose a skull. And we get on with our day. Also, just some fantastic ambient sounds. I know I go on about that a lot in the things I play, but I really am a sucker for a good soundscape.
Yeah, well, it's a bit dynamic, depending on how the game's going.
So, this door is all barred and sealed. Aha, the chamber of totally socially acceptable things. We're gonna want to clear this room out a bit. We're gonna be doing some stuff in here, and I don't like to be bothered by monsters.
Can't help but wonder if they didn't introduce sanity yet because they didn't want to give you the mechanic yet, or if because Pious is just like a consummate soldier.
He's yeah, he's very. I like that. That makes more of a fluffy explanation as opposed to a crunchy one. If those terms hold weight with you.
I mean, in this context, unless you're talking about food, not really.
So, in tabletop games, a fluff is like a narrative and a story and a world-building type reason, and a crunch is like your mechanical systems and your dice and your stat points and yada yada yada. And I am always of the mindset that fluff trumps crunch. So yeah, I like the fact that it's just... He's very stoic. He's a Roman. He also may not have the most... he may have some personal issues that are going to come up sometime in the very near future, without giving too much away. He may not be the noblest of men. So we put the blocks into the holes. Just a good soundtrack, too. His name is Pious. How could he be bad? Okay. The red, the green, the blue, and the purple. I'm also just a huge fan of those, like, broom top helmet things.
I don't know what they're called.
I don't know either, but, Pious, you must prove your worth by destroying the statue, which for some reason looks like you don't question it. And here's how they tutorialize you in attacking. You can toggle R if you want to switch between multiple targets, but, there's only one in the room. This is not symbolic of anything. Don't think about it too hard. There you go. Hi, friends. There isn't really an XP system or, like, any incentive to clear the room when you get attacked. Other than, you know, you don't want them bothering you. So, a button attached to a small pylon softly illuminates the room. Always push buttons. I don't know why do you even ask if I should push a button. I will always push every button. I'm impulsive. And... being teleported now. Okay.
Well,
So,
here we are.
This is a big moment. Red, blue, or green? One of these, we're going to pick one of these, and it's going to drastically alter the way the game plays. Any suggestions? Any takers?
Chat, what's your favorite color?
Green? Green going once? Green going
Green going
twice?
once.
Gotta be green.
Gotta be green.
Oh boy. Say hello to our girl.
All right.
Hello. He's fine. He's good. He looks so normal.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much. I was once as naive as a child, but now my mind is sharp. With the power of Xelatoth, I can now read the thoughts of others and make them raving mad with a mere suggestion. Face me, and you shall surely perish.
That's gonna make this run fun.
Good.